I'm back. So there are so many things that has happened. I can't even begin at this point to go into detail. It's it's amazing, like what like a couple of days or several days, how things can change over a given point of time, right? So, the last time I was on here, I was talking about how D and I had a conversation about our situations with the baggage, as I was calling it, and like my cousin was right, like Chrissy was right. She was saying that in a lot of cases, when it comes to like death in people's lives, they tend to just think a lot, and you start kind of, and it's like a fear process where like when you're worried about things and you have like all these series of thoughts that just keep happening and happening. So that's what was happening with him. He was just trying to figure out how's this going to work and this and that and stuff. And so, and the old me, like I was saying before, would have definitely handled that terribly. I would have done that thing that girls do, like, no, it'll work, we can make, and so then my fear would have added to his fear, and it just would have been like not a good combination. And so, like, I think just with me just listening and letting him process, letting him talk it out, and just saying to him that I'll be here regardless. So that next day, because when I was talking about it, it was still on my mind. So we talked about it again, and he said that he really appreciated me saying that that I was going to be there regardless, that he needed to take, his time and everything like that. There's no need to rush anything. And so it was like that kind of catapulted things for us, because I guess for him, he had to realize that I'm not going anywhere. I'm not, super young to where it's like I have to rush anything anymore. I've been married, so it's like I'm not in a rush to get married again. I'd love to get married again, but that's like it's not my end goal at this point. At this point, I'm still trying to get myself really established again, financially, feeling more secure, get it out of debt, that kind of thing, just for myself, just being a good mom, all those things. So being in a relationship is just like, it's part of it, it's a good part too. And so we are making strides. We're making strides. That's all I can say right now. Just know it's a good thing. It's a very good thing. He actually brought up, like, how would I feel about being like a stepmom to teenagers. And so anybody that knows me knows I teach teenagers, and I'm actually more comfortable with them than my own two kids. Kids that are little, I'm like, what am I doing? What are you talking about? What are you doing, kid? I have to ask my mom or my younger sister who works with little kids, because I'm like, okay, I need you to talk to, because I don't know how to I talk to my kids like they're little adults. So if you hear them talking, I've never did baby talk with them. I didn't do any of that. I talk to them like they're grown, and sometimes I forget that they're only 2 and 5. So, but when he said that to me, he was just, asking like how I'd feel about that. And I said, honestly, I understand teens, and I understand. And I was like, a stepmom, that's pretty much what I am already. Kids call me mom. Because they, a lot of the kids that I teach come from crazy backgrounds and situations. Family dynamics is just all out of whack. And I've seen the kids that come from divorced families. I've seen the ones that were well adjusted because their parents were well adjusted. They worked Like, I had some kids that they loved their step parents. You know, they're like, they had, everything was organized and controlled environment for them. And then I seen the crazy, you know, they hate their stepmom, they hate their stepdad, you know, that kind of thing. And then when they tell me the stories surrounding those situations, I've always kind of took notes. Not because I ever thought that I was going to be in that situation, but just because you have so many kids come to you in similar situations, and when you're listening to them, you know, it just kind of, you just store it. And so I remember, you know, like for me, one of the things that I took away from those positive situations with the kids was that step parent never tried to be another mom to them. They already have a mother, you know, or another father or whatever. And, you know, and in this case for me, I have my own kids to be worried about. I'm very aware they have their own parent. And like as teenagers, they really just want you to be there to be a good listener because they have so much going on, you know. And if I'm that person that they can come to, talk to, you know, if they can't talk to their dad or their mom, I could be that person, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I'm not making those decisions, you know, their parents are. You know, just like with my kids, it's me and my ex making decisions, not whoever I'm going to be with. So that's why I like being with somebody who's also divorced, because we understand what each other is going through, even though the circumstances surrounding why we broke up or the divorce and things like that is different. But the mainstay things are very similar. And so we have that in common. And I think that's what kind of brings us together, because it's like we're kind of leaning on one another during these times. And so in regards to the kids, you know, like I told them, I was like, I understand them. It's going to be hard. You know, they're probably going to like me in the beginning. But I'm used to people not liking me. So it is what it is. And, you know, teenagers that don't like me, don't bother me. I mean, of course I want them to. I think eventually they will, you know, because they'll see I make their dad happy. And at the end of the day, if they're good kids, they're going to, which I know they are, that's all they're going to matter to them. And that I understand that teenagers, they're emotional. You know, how they feel about you today changes tomorrow. I hate you today, I love you tomorrow. Like, it's just, they're so all over the place. And you just can't take anything teens say personal. Once you understand that, you get along with teenagers. You just, the end of the day, don't take anything they say personal. And you'll be fine. You just go, I'm sorry you feel that way. Okay. And it's just like, you just keep it moving. You know, don't engage the foolery, because it's just going to escalate. It's just going to be bad. So, and I didn't even have to ask him. He just said that he's thought it all through. As far as, you know, his kids are older, they're almost out the house, but he's going to be starting all over if we're together having little kids. And so he's already, you know, he's already told me that he's cool with that and stuff. Because he actually, you know, did want more kids. And so, you know, not for us to have any more kids together. I kind of crossed that hurdle when I see 40 is 6 months away. So, you know, I don't know. Like 2 years ago, I was like on that train. I want to have another kid, but especially a boy, you know. But at this point, I'll be 40 in January, and it's just like, I'm good. Because you just get tired. You get tired. The 2-year-old I have, she's just a handful. So I just tend to think of like having like a toddler, and then a baby, and it would be a lot. It'd be a lot for me. I just don't think I'll be able to handle it. I'd love it because I love being pregnant. I love having babies, but I don't even know. But so talking about 40, I've challenged myself to lose like 30 pounds. Yeah, 30 pounds. Because that'll be the weight that I was prior to meeting my ex. And so I have 30 pounds left because I've already lost like 30 or 40 pounds. So since like we broke up. So like I'm at the point of okay, I could do this. I could probably get this last 30. I think I could do it. In 6 months. I've lost more in 6 months because I was trying to get into my wedding dress. And my friend Stephanie will let you know, she can let y'all know in the comments that she had a dress that she was selling, and it was a dress that I wanted for. I always liked that dress. I saw it in a magazine before, and I wanted that wedding dress, and she had it, and I was like, I need that. And it was like a 12, which is like an 8, in regular people size. So, and I was not an 8. I was far from it. But I lost that weight in 6 months. It was hard. So one of the steps that I did, and I had to think back, what did I do to lose that weight? So what I did was I said I got rid of all the whites in my life. And I'm not talking about white people. That was not a racist comment. I'm saying I got rid of all the starches. So sugars, the white colored products, flour, anything that's going to turn to sugar, basically carbohydrates and stuff. Bread, all the things that I love so dearly I hold so dearly to me, gotta go. If I want to slim it down, So, yeah, I have a picture in my mind. I set goals sometimes for myself, and it challenges me to go forward, and I really feel like I can do it, because I've done it before. I mean, I'm a little bit older now, but I still feel like I can. So 40 is right around the corner, which is so weird to say out loud. So that's my challenge. Yeah, to lose 30 by 40. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, so I'm going to start that challenge when school starts in August, because I already know it's summertime. I don't have the discipline for it right now. I just like to eat cakes and ice cream and pizza and just things I shouldn't eat, And so the funny thing is I'm actually working out on top of it. So it's like, so I'm not like blowing up, but, but once school starts, I'll have more of a structured, life again. And so that's pretty much what's going to happen. I've noticed, like, I've had people tell me, like, I'm starting to see that they're like, you seem more, like, whole, like, more settled, more, like you progressed. And I really appreciate that, because sometimes I don't always feel like that. And it's not because of the new guy. Like, I had to do the work. Like, when I look back, I was like, it took 2 years, really, for me to get myself together, for me, because I was in a really toxic, emotionally abusive relationship. And when you're in that kind of, like, headspace, you lose all confidence in yourself, and you lose all sense of reality of what is real and what's not. Like, is this person saying this because they mean this, or are they trying to do this because of this? Like, you question everything, every motive behind somebody, you question it. And it shouldn't be like that. Like, just simple things a person might say, you're like, what do you mean by that? Why do you say that? And it's like, that's not normal, Like, there are times where, and like, even in now, if I were back in that mindset, if he weren't to call me back, right, after he said he would, I would think that he was mad at me. I would think that I must have said something wrong. What did I do? It was like, you know what I mean? Like, what, and so I would go into this, I would go into a panic frenzy trying to figure out what I did. Why didn't he call me? He said he would. I'm texting, no response. Oh my God, and it would be a slew of text, right? Of crazy. And so when you are in that kind of frame of mind, that is not healthy. And so, like, on the path of just, like, I started watching tarot and everything, and a lot of the people that I started following, they they did more than tarot. They would talk about your your energy and the energy that you invite around you and things like that, and how you know, and you have to meditate and everything. You can meditate and pray. You know, it's not a way to like disregard God or anything like that. It's really you centering yourself, you know, and getting your mind in the right space. You've got to calm yourself down. You've got to breathe. You know, I was realizing that I wasn't breathing correctly. You know, I would take shallow breaths, so therefore it was causing me the energy, like all the oxygen to my brain wasn't getting there. You know what I'm saying? So you're in a panic state all the time. You're never calm. You know, and so now it's just like I don't know. It's just different. It's just different. Even when I hear things, you know, people act a certain way, I don't respond as quickly. I think things through. You know, it's just, I just feel better. And when they say the self-care is the best care, they're not lying. But you have to do the work. And if you're not ready, if you haven't done the work, you're not ready to be in a relationship. Not if you've been hurt and damaged. Because you won't receive them. You know, they can be the best person on earth, but you wouldn't even know it because you're so damaged. You know? And I feel like that's why this person's in my life now, because I feel like I've done the work. And now I can receive him and vice versa, because it's like I know he doesn't have any ulterior motives. Like he's not coming from a selfish place at all. And even though we got things that we're going to have to work out and stuff as far as like just logistics and stuff, it's not to the point where it's going to cause me to be in like a fear-based like panic of what are we going to do, and worry. It's not like that. It's just like, and the funny thing is like his stepfather passed away, who was very close to. I didn't think I was doing anything, you know, other than just, you know, just being there for him. Because I was just like, I want somebody to be like this with me if I lost a parent. And so for him, he's like, that means the world to me. You have no idea, you know. And his whole like thoughts toward me shifted because since he's been up in Detroit, you know, with his mom, because I've just been like the strong person that he needed, like just supportive and stuff like that, and just being there for him, and that's different for me even, because I'm always feeling like, you know, they got to be supportive of me and this and that, and I just don't feel like that anymore. It's like you got to support each other. You both got to be in it together. It shouldn't just be he has to do this for me and he's got to be. That's not how it's supposed to be. You have to support one another, and that's what he was saying. He was like, we take care of each other. That's how this works. And like even with the X factor, I told him I was dating somebody now. And he took it fine. Like, I mean, he's seeing somebody kind of, sort of, whatever. He's, like, dating other people. Like, people. He's not ready to settle down. Anyway. There's been a couple of situations where I've kind of, like, been upset with the ex. Just the way he's responded to things. And D has basically said, every time, he helps me see a different point of view. When D comes back in town, I'm going to pick him up from the airport. And I'll have the girls that week. It's going to be the 4th of July weekend. And so I was like, well, I just didn't want him to meet the girls before he met my ex. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, I told my ex, I said, would you mind taking the girls like that 4th of July night? Like, I'll have them in their pajamas. It'll be bedtime. It won't even be like you're really watching them. We exchange on Sundays in the afternoons. So it's just he's going to have them a couple hours earlier. Well, he was just like, I'm going to be busy. And no, I'm sorry. He was like, first he was looking at his phone like, no. And try to look at his calendar. Well, I don't know. I might have something. And it's just like, do you have something or do you not have something? Like, just let me know so I can plan accordingly, right? And like in my mind, I'm like getting so mad because it's like he does that. And it's not just in this instance. It's because he used to do that crap back in the day. Whenever we would plan things or ask him about stuff, well, do you want to do this? It was like he would keep me hanging. You know what I mean? He knew good and well that he wasn't planning on doing nothing. Like, I know he's not planning on watching them. He's not. He's just going to make it seem like he is a possibility just to keep me on the line. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got to put all my plans on hold because I got to wait and see what he wants to do. It's a form of control. And, like, it burns me up, right? So I was like, it's cool. It's cool. Like, I was like fuming inside. I was fuming, but I had to play it off, right? Because if I showed any sign of anger, he would have won. Like he would know he got to me, right? So I was like, I was not like the oldness. I'm gonna tell you. Oh my God. So I was like, it's cool. It's cool. You know, it's all right. It's fine. You know, my parents watch them. It's fine. It's no big deal. And so I was just, that's where I was in my mind. That's all I could get out, right? Let me get out this car. Let me give you these kids so I could just go. So I was a little upset and like, so D, like he was, at a party or whatever. And so he was like, he's so sweet. Cause like, I'm not used to somebody like constantly texting me and messaging me when they're out. You know what I mean? You know, they'll usually be like, I'll talk to you tomorrow. But he's not like that. Like, he's sending me videos of him at the party, and it's just cute. And so, like, he called me at some point while he was still there, and I texted him. I was like, just remind me to tell you about the ex, what he did. And so he was like, why are you upset right now with him? And so I was telling him, and he was like, he's so calm. He's like, Anissa, you know why he's not doing it? And I was like, why? And he said, because he knows about us. And he was like, and he knows that you're going to pick me up. You know, that he knows that he feels like I'm passing them kids off on him so that we can spend time together, right? He's like, do you see where he's probably thinking that? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, and you know, he goes, and it's like still far out. He may not know what he's got going on. And I was like he always tries to spin it all around. Like, it's like, and this is what I love about the guy, because it's like, it's just like he sees the other side of things, and it's just like, man, you know, and I couldn't even be upset anymore. And so, like, that's what I love about him, like, because he, like, totally de-escalated me in that sense, and just made me see the other side of it, you know. And he even said, look, if he decides that he's not going to watch them, and if you can't get your parents to, he goes, I'm just going to have to meet your kids early before me and him meet, and that's going to be on him. And I was like, this is why I rock with you. This is why I rock with you. And so it was just like, it was cool. It was cool. It was really neat. And so yeah, you know, it's just, I'm in a good place. And one of the things that really does help me is I journal. I have to keep my mind, and all my thoughts and all the things that happen in my life. I keep them written down because I always go back and I can reflect, you know, and it just helps me from worrying and keeping all the thoughts in my head to put them on paper. And I've always journaled since I was a kid. I was like 13 and I had a diary. I've been journaling for that long. So, you know, if you're that type of person that worries and thinks too much and you don't know what to do with their thoughts, like, get your journal. Like, sometimes I can't sleep and I'll just start writing all my thoughts down, how I'm feeling and things like that, and it really does help me and stuff. And then, like, I finally got back to reading. Now this is ridiculous. My niece, my sister gave me this book. My niece ripped off the covers. How do you read a book like this? But I'm finally getting back to reading for pleasure, because I'm a teacher, an English teacher, and you always have to read, but it's not for pleasure, you know. It's like, it's work. I'm dropping everything. And I used to be in a book club, and I missed that. And so I started a book club for my church, and I had to find a book, you know. And so my sister gave me that one, and it's actually pretty good. And so far I haven't got far, but it helps ease my mind as well, you know, just getting out of my head, and and I just forgot how much I loved it, because I was doing it for work so much. It's like, and I wasn't a part of my club anymore, and I was just like, and I couldn't find books that I really liked. I would start them, and I was like, ugh, you know, they were just too predictable and boring. But this one has been good for me, so it keeps my mind going. I don't have to think, you know. So, you know, reading a good book also helps with the worrying and just overthinking situations and stuff. So, but yeah, growth. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at, and you know, I feel good at this point, and that's saying a lot, because I was sad for a while. I was sad for a long time. So, yeah. I'm not trying to cry, but it feels good to be happy for once in a long time. So, yeah. Now I'll stop it here. So, till next time. Peace.